Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 20. No, this is for June. Just kidding. You have the month of June. You have this tricky situation card. It says a sly, subtle approach is necessary in order to safely navigate a tricky situation. You have the scales of balance. It says find balance within yourself and things will balance out around you. So it is a month where we should be probably balancing things out and, paying attention to what's working and what's not working in our lives. So, balance is going to be important. You have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. I mean, this looks really good here so far, Scorpio. I don't want to get too excited, but at the same time, I feel that this could be a good tricky situation. It's like sometimes, a tricky situation isn't a bad thing. It can just say that you are, maybe starting something with that Ace of Wands, and it's going to be something that requires balance. It's going to be something that requires you to take your time. And that's kind of just popping into my head here with these cards. But you have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Wands can be out with the old and with the new. So the Ace of Wands can definitely be a new beginning. We are on. It's funny that I started the reading saying the week of the 26th because we have that new moon. If you're watching this before the 26th, we have a new moon on that day, and going into the month of June, you could be starting something new, or you could be feeling called to start something new as well. We go down to the Lovers, to the Judgment card here. Judgment sometimes. I feel like Judgment, we can just feel that kind of internal pull towards something. We look at Judgment as a card of your purpose or being called to purpose. But like I said, sometimes I feel it's more maybe magnetic, where you kind of feel like you should be going in a certain direction, or, that you should be starting something. The type of magnet that the Ace of Wands is usually excitement. The Ace of Wands is a card of inspiration. So you could be feeling inspired to kind of step off on a new path. This could be love for sure, but the Lovers can also just be a choice. So some of you might have a choice to that you are being magnetically pulled towards. And you have two aces. Two aces is a definite new beginning in a reading like this. So, again, I would be trusting your inner magnet here. It's like something has a magnetic pull over you, Scorpio, and that's what I would be paying attention to. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is like a perfect match coming in for you. You have the Lovers right next to it. And you have the King of Swords, the King of Wands. You have the Page of Pentacles. Definitely could be a new person who's coming into your life. Two of Cups is usually someone who's different than your usual type. So, again, usually Two of Cups, we feel like they're different in some way. And so if you're looking for love, definitely could be a different type of person. If you're not looking for love, and I don't even think, there's love here in this reading, but I think this reading is also talking about some sort of magnetic pull that you could be feeling this month, the whole month. And, the Two of Cups can be you and your higher self. It is just communication. This right here is a Staff of Hermes, and the Staff of Hermes is Mercury, which could be communication. So I would be paying attention to your dreams, daydreams. I would literally be paying attention to communication with the Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is a victory. It can represent overcoming obstacles. I just heard also that you could be overcoming a stubborn obstacle. As I was saying that, those words popped into my head that some of you maybe have had some sort of stubborn obstacle that has been very hard to overcome. And so if you've been dealing with something like that, you could be overcoming it. But it's sometimes I think we have humans here on Earth that are our guides, right? This could be a random person that talks to you in the store, a random person you meet on the street, whatever. And, sometimes I think we just don't pay attention, but the Ace of Swords and all this other stuff that's coming up here is really saying to me that, this month I think you should really be a good listener, because you never know what someone might say to you. You just never know, right? And you never know what it could lead to and what could change and all this other stuff, right? So I would be paying attention to those random moments where you're talking to people and the messages that you're receiving, because again, these messages could literally be divine guidance with the Judgment card. Judgment, this is your higher self angel, and the judgment can just be kind of divine guidance. We even have your higher self angel here on the Lovers card. So, like I said, I would be paying attention to that divine guidance. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. It seems to me like everybody's getting a little bit of a break. You should be feeling this after the new moon, so after the 26th. I think people could start feeling like things are, not necessarily slowing down, but, you could be getting opportunities to take a break. You could be getting an opportunity to catch your breath in life in general, and, I think all that would be good for you. I think everybody needs it, especially after we've had retrogrades nonstop since November, so, and that pretty much ended last month, but, at the same time, or this month, really, May, but at the same time, again, I think the first new moon after all these retrogrades is really going to set people free. With the Two of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor. I mean, there's been a lot of love. I'm pretty sure that in the 2025 readings, I pretty much said to everyone that, like, June is really good for love, and the summer in general is really good for love. So for those of you that want love, I would be socializing, getting out in public, doing all those other things at this time, especially all summer. Again, this person is showing up in June, but, could happen at any time in the summer. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, stubborn obstacle. Wheel of Fortune is a change in your fortunes, but, it can say that you're kind of like finally overcoming something. The wheel spins in whatever direction it wants. You show up right here as the eagle or the phoenix, whichever you prefer, and the wheel. So, this is kind of like you showing up in a strong position in the reading, but the Wheel of Fortune can turn in whatever direction it wants. We can control the direction by paying attention to our vibes, our vibrations, by digging into mysteries as well. But we can also change it by doubling down on the good stuff and taking care of challenges just as quickly. And so if you're doing those things in your life, that you could definitely be overcoming some sort of stubborn obstacle, probably something that's taken a long time to overcome with that Ace of Swords. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says, be meticulous and patient. You have this Wizard card. It says, use your skills to aid others. I kind of have a feeling that a lot of people are going to get cards like this, be meticulous and patient, in June. I think what is going to be important in June is keeping things simple. This is another thing that I said in the 2025 readings, that, I think right now the astrology could be making people kind of look for complicated solutions. I think when we have a problem, as humans, we have complexity bias. We just automatically think that if something is complex, that it's the right answer, but usually it's not. Usually the simple answer is the answer. So I kind of feel like this is saying, KISS, keep it simple. And that's what I would do there. I would also use your magic. Wheel of Fortune has that snake on it, which can be your vibration. So I would make sure that you're giving off a good vibe. You have the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and the Justice card. I always read Queen of Cups as you. Most people read her as Cancer. I've always read her as you, Scorpio. So this could be you showing up in a very strong position. Queen of Cups also wants us to follow our heart, which is very important for fixed signs. Probably for at least the next few years, I think fixed signs are going to continue to get these messages that are really saying, you have to get unfixed. You have to get to a more flexible place where you can live a more heart-based life. And if you do that, things will go very well for you. And that's what I would do with this Queen of Cups energy. You have the Lovers. We go up to the Page of Pentacles from the Lovers. I always look at Page of Pentacles as communication as well. So with the Two of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, this could be a person that you meet and you just start communicating with. It definitely could be an Earth sign. I'm not calling you out here, Scorpio, but you show up in all the Earth sign readings. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was an Earth sign that is coming in for you, or someone with a ton of Earth in their chart or something, probably a Taurus or a Virgo. But it could be any sign, general reading. I would just say that, maybe you start communicating. You have the Strength card, which says patience, you're going to take your time. And you started with that tricky situation card that says a sly, subtle approach is necessary to safely navigate a tricky situation. I don't think this is tricky. I think it's more just saying, take your time. It's like saying, don't love bomb this person and vice versa. If they're love bombing you, then maybe you need to be hold your horses, slow down, speed racer, right? So I would take your time with this and, just kind of allow it to develop. Oh, one other thing that I'm getting here is some sort of choice or decision. So there's a lot of love here, but I also feel this reading is saying that you are kind of being magnetically pulled towards a choice that would be very good for you. Maybe it's not literally magnetic, but, I feel there's some sort of pull in a direction in your life, something you want to create or something you want to do. And I would be kind of I would be trusting that magnetic pull. You have the Justice card. Again, you have the Scales of Balance card as well, which says keep your life in balance. The Justice, I think really what's going to be important for you, Scorpio, is the fact that the Justice card, this Justice person is taking a neutral perspective on what's going on around him. He's not looking at the world as like good or bad. He's kind of looking at it from a neutral perspective, and he's collecting all the information. I definitely feel this is going to be a big issue with, Pluto in Aquarius, probably Neptune and Aries. We have a lot of fiery energy this summer. Saturn will be in Aries. Neptune will be retrograding out of Aries back into Pisces, but it's already touched tips with Aries as far as I'm concerned. So, we already have tasted that Aries energy. The problem is like jumping to conclusions without having all the evidence or without looking at the evidence. I just feel this is saying that, from now until like 14 years from now, I would make sure everything that you're doing, that in any, if you have moments where you get super excited about something, it could be positive or negative. I would it's not like you have to, put yourself down or anything. I just think you have to take your time and really look at the evidence of all situations and just be patient, right? And if you do that, things will go well. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. It's like this magnetic pull is probably pulling you towards a victory. It could be the stubborn, obstacle or whatever this Ace of Swords was saying to me that you are overcoming. And so if you're overcoming some sort of stubborn obstacle, this could be the victory. And it could be through following your heart or following that magnetic pull that you could be feeling this month. I literally feel it's this month, like June 1st or 2nd, that you start feeling some sort of pull in a direction. With the Lovers, you have the Two of Cups. Yes, perfect match for sure. I mean, we have the Two of Cups twice showing up here. So if you're looking for love, this looks very good. This could be a really solid connection that's coming in for you. Like I said, Two of Cups is a perfect match. So I really like the way that this looks. Here we go. With the Justice card, you have the Tower. I knew it was going to come up for you, Scorpio. We have the Tower and Judgment, though. So Tower to Judgment is like a major wake-up call or major revelation. It is like understanding something very, very quickly. And this could be the magnetic pull. The Tower is about coming down to reality. And it is your card. So, this can represent Scorpio. So even though it's a Tower, it could just be your energy. But I think more importantly than that, again, with the Judgment card, those two cards together represent like this big light bulb moment that could be going off in your head. And so a lot of you could be having a light bulb moment this month. Next, in the area messages from your future self, you have this Frog Spirit, says clear out the clutter. You have this Wasp Spirit, says sometimes life stings. Yeah, it's like maybe you don't understand why you had to go through like a stubborn obstacle, like I was saying, or maybe you don't understand like why something had to happen the way that it did happen with like a stubborn obstacle. But a lot of you could be kind of like, just realizing that it did and you're like moving past it. Like I said, with the Keep It Simple card there, the Meticulous and Patient card, clearing out the clutter is obviously a good idea. Again, simplification is the name of the game. I like to look at the world and what's happened, like the big themes that are happening in the world, because sometimes I think the world reflects to us what we should be doing. So regardless of how you feel about it, I don't even know how I feel about it, but AI, like I think they're probably trying to turn us into robots. But, if you really think about it, AI is making things simpler in some way, right? So I think on a personal level, we should be clearing out the clutter and simplifying, plain and simple. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Judgment card. Page of Pentacles, definitely could be communication from a person. So, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if you're communicating with a new person or if you start communicating with a new person. I also feel this could be good news coming in for you. I mean, Ace of Swords can be good news as well. But if you're waiting for news, this could be good news coming in. Sometimes I feel the Page of Pentacles can be like approval for something, or, it could also be like if you're waiting for like something like an insurance payout or a legal payout even, that's what the Page of Pentacles news could be. I do feel this is a new person though. So, if you're looking for love, definitely a new person. You have the Strength card. There's the patient part of the reading. So the Strength card is a card of patience. I think that, you have the Ace of Swords. We were talking about a stubborn obstacle, and the Strength card definitely could be the strength that you've developed through some sort of stubborn obstacle. It's like it taught you how to be patient. The Strength card, she is taming this lion. Here, its tail is between its legs, and so it is submitting to her. The Strength card, the Lion, can represent our inner voice or our inner critic or our inner demons. And a lot of you could be like taming your inner voice here with the Strength card, or your inner demons, or you could be taking control over your inner voice, which would be great with this card as well. So any personal development work that you can do on yourself this month would be extra beneficial. The other thing I like about this reading is there are a lot of people here. I mean, we have the Two of Cups twice, Lovers, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, King of Wands. So, the Strength card can be a display of strength. It can be that people are seeing how strong you are. And, obviously, this could be good for a million different reasons. Like if you're trying to get a raise or a promotion, if your boss sees that you're very strong at work, this could lead to a raise or promotion. You have the Judgment card. Again, with some sort of magnetic pull. This could be sudden as well. I mean, Ace of Wands is like, we look at the Ace of Wands as a flash in the pan card, right? It can be a spark of inspiration. The Tower, there's a lightning bolt or a spark hitting the top of the tower. So this is going to be something that I think comes on quickly in your life, where you just like all of a sudden feel pulled to create something or, do something in your life. The Judgment card wants us, the coffin represents our old life. Outside the coffin is our new life, and Judgment wants us to leave our old life behind and step into our new life. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to kind of, step into your new life in some way. And this could be by just doing new things, trying new things, trying new projects, trying new ideas. Pretty much any of that would be good for you with this card. And that's what I would be doing. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be heartbreak, but Three of Swords is a card of forgiveness, so it might be time for you to forgive a past situation. I would say that, again, if this could be the stubborn obstacle that you've been dealing with that Ace of Swords. We have Judgment, Tower, and also the Ace of Swords all together here, and we end with the King of Swords, which is law and order. And just putting all that together, this could be a situation where you have an ex where maybe you think they haven't gotten their karma. Or if you're involved in some legal battle with an ex, the Three of Swords would say that practicing forgiveness could actually be the thing that clears this up a lot faster for you. Those three swords are in your own heart. And the Three Swords, we have to remove those swords from our heart to be set free with the Ace of Swords, or the Three of Swords. And, practicing forgiveness could be a good idea. With the Strength card, you have the Ten of Cups. Wouldn't even worry about it. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. It's happy home, happy family. This is a very positive reading. I mean, just in general. It's yeah, sure, you have the Tower, but, it's only one card. And the rest of it is very positive. So Ten of Cups is about being very happy. These people are celebrating these 10 cups that exist above their heads. So they are celebrating happiness, or they're trying to live in a world of happiness. The whole point of the Ten of Cups is that they are standing in the real world, but they're choosing happiness. So, again, I would choose happiness. With the Judgment card, you have the Three of Wands. Make the move, basically. Three of Wands says, what are you waiting for? And so if you are feeling magnetically drawn to a new beginning, especially after this new moon that we're having, this new moon that we're having on the 26th is an extra new beginning, because, again, it's the first new moon we're having after all those retrogrades that we had. So we're really finally being set free, and I would take advantage of that energy with the Three of Wands for sure. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Mystery card and this Higher Power card. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel that this is you kind of finally having that breakthrough with the Ace of Swords. It's sometimes in life I think we can do something for a very long period of time. We can try to grow our business. We can try to grow a YouTube channel. We can try to improve our health. And then for no reason at all, things can improve. And I kind of feel some of you could have one of those moments this month where there really is no, you're doing the same things that you've been doing. But there could be some sort of big improvement, which is great. But it's nothing has changed. I think it's a mystery as to why things are improving. But I kind of feel this is saying, well, probably because you're tapping in more. The whole reading says you have to listen to messages, tap in, trust your intuition. So, I think that could be part of the reason why. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Four of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the King of Wands. Four of Pentacles would say that you are feeling more stable this month. Four of Pentacles in the good stuff, or outside of the good stuff, it can represent holding on too tightly to the past. But in the good stuff, it can definitely be good, and it can say that you are, kind of creating improvements, or there is an improvement coming in for you at this time. So I think a lot of you could just be creating improvements at this time, or there are improvements coming in for your life in the form of stability. So you could feel like you're working on your foundation. The tower always gets reduced down to its foundation, and then we always rebuild it stronger. So I'm wondering if you are focusing on your foundation or really putting yourself in a better position this month, which would be great. You have the King of Swords. The King of Swords can be law and order. I do feel that for some of you, but really, for those of you that are involved in something legal, then sure, I feel like there absolutely could be some sort of law and order coming in for you at this time. The King of Swords can also be knowledge and wisdom. And so a lot of you have, with the Strength card, probably have learned a lot over the past years, many years. And now you can be using that knowledge to create success in whatever you are being magnetically drawn towards this month. It feels like a thing. I feel like sure, the love that's showing up here, there could be a magnetic connection, but I feel like this is more a new beginning that is magnetic, but like in your life in general. It doesn't feel like love to me. That could be part of it, but like I said, I feel that this knowledge and wisdom could help you in what you are being magnetically drawn towards. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. Again, if you're attracting love, I do feel that you could be attracting a bold, assertive person. It could be a very fiery person, like a person who even has a lot of fire in their chart, if they're not a fire sign. But I feel this like very confident energy. So there's probably going to be nothing that you really have to do to attract this person. They'll probably just approach you, because I get that energy. I think it would also be an amazing time for you to be more bold and assertive this month, and to really go for what you want. The other thing about him, I always say with the King of Wands that people forget, is that he is very, he has like this gift of foresight. We don't really consider him intuitive or anything, but he has this ability to see things in the future, like kind of before they happen. And, if you're having any futuristic ideas, I would really be tapping into those ideas with the Judgment card and the Tower, because, and also the Ace of Wands. The thing with the Ace of Wands is it's just a spark. We have to keep putting wood on the fire to get it to grow. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, like quick changes coming in for you. A lot. I said this to someone, Pisces, I think, that I think, that at the beginning of the year, I was saying that June would be very busy. The summer would be very busy for people. And so I think that this is just talking about, how this summer is like very fiery. I think we'll see this in the world as well, unfortunately, maybe. As far as on a personal level is concerned, I think a lot of us could be making a lot of moves, doing a lot of things that we need to do to get ahead. So I think it's a good thing. With the King of Swords, you have the Star, which is great. Again, if you are dealing with a Tower moment, this is exactly what we want. The Star after the Tower would say that you are healing from a Tower moment. I kind of said that on the Four of Pentacles, that you are like rebuilding. The Star, kind of like I said with the Four of Swords as well, the Star can be a card of catching your breath. It can say you're kind of getting a little bit of a break. I see, it's not like you're taking this big, huge break, though, with this reading. You could be just taking moments during the day to, breathe, basically. With the King of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. But the Five of Pentacles here is showing up in the good stuff. So a lot of you could really be focusing on your strengths at this time, which of course would be a good thing. This could also represent like an improvement in your finances. Normally Five of Pentacles is a card of poverty, but in the area of the good stuff, it could say things are getting better. You have this Goldfish card. It says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So love it. I just said that with the Five of Pentacles. You don't have a lot of money cards here, but again, you have this card, so there definitely could be improvements. You have this Younger Man card. It says dealings or relationships with a younger man. And then I always clarify these people cards. You have this Fair Woman card. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So, you could be dealing with a person, any one of those people at this time. And it could be love. Could be anything. This could be the connection. It could be a younger person. You could be the younger person as well. We have the King of Swords. King of Swords can represent a person who's older. You have this Hills card. It says obstacles to overcome. I feel like you're overcoming obstacles, like I said, with that Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, the sword is above the mountains. it is a card of overcoming an obstacle. So I think that there has been, like I said, a stubborn obstacle, something that you've been trying to work past for a long time, and it's like you're finally getting past it. You have this carriage. It says a journey, either physical or mental. A lot of movement in this reading, especially with that Knight of Swords at the end. You don't have to be going on a journey, but you could just be making a lot of moves in your life, and I would do it. You have this camel. It says persevere and you will overcome your problems. Like I said, stubborn obstacle is definitely something that came up here. I feel like you're finally overcoming it, so it's like not even a bad thing, but I think this is saying like don't give up now. You are very close to overcoming this stubborn obstacle. But this looks really good, Scorpio. I like this for you. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.